Shalom and greetings to my friends, brothers, and sisters. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, and maybe that will help the video quality. I've been having some problems. I'll try to speak a little bit louder for the volume. Now, what I want to talk about is having how to make your money last and work for you the best when you move out of the U.S. or Canada. You have a big advantage if you are going to Latin America because you have dollars, and they should go at least twice as far, sometimes 3 times as far for local purchases. That won't it won't work for electronics and anything that is imported, but for things within the country like food, rent, and transportation, your money should go a lot farther. Now, what you need to do so that that works for you, because you're not going to find work right away probably, so you need to make your money last as long as possible, and I want to see all of you have the most success and to not run out of money and get into dire straits. What you need to do is to change the way you think about your money. Now, you can't think about it in dollars. Of course, that's the only way you can think about it when you first get there. You have to convert everything into dollars because you'd have no point of reference. So you're going to convert, use your calculator or do it mentally, and you're going to say, well, this only costs 50 cents. Wow, in the United States, this would be $1.50. That's a good deal. The better way to think of things is of course, at first, you're at the mercy of the people there. But so that you don't lose too much money and so that you don't get ripped off too much, try to find out what the major unit for that country is. For example, in the U.S., it's $1. So if you went to buy a cup of coffee in the U.S., you know that it will be between $1, $1.50, and maybe as high as $2.50 to $3, depending if you're going to Starbucks and getting a designer cup of coffee or Dunkin' Donuts or a regular diner or something cup of coffee. But if someone were to charge you for a cup of coffee, even at Starbucks, and they said it's $7 or $8 for a cup of coffee, would you pay for that? Most of you would probably say no, even those of you who love coffee like I do. You'd say, no, that's just outrageous. I'm not going to spend $7 or $8 on a cup of coffee. You know, this isn't Disney World. You know, there and at theme parks they charge an arm and a leg for food and drinks. But you know where your limits are. But if you go to another country, you might not know that. For example, if you went to Peru and you ordered a cup of coffee, it should be 2 or 3 soles. Their unit of money is a sol, S-O-L. For them, that's like the dollar for us. So, but in actuality, a sol is only worth about 35 to 40 cents. So if you converted it, if they told you a cup of coffee was 8 soles, 8 soles, you would convert that into dollars and you'd say, oh, that's about $2.25. That sounds correct. But it isn't. You know, of course, if you go into like a coffee shop, they're not going to rip you off. You're going to get ripped off in a taxi. Or you're going to get ripped off when you try to get rent for a house, which they do in dollars there actually. You're going to get ripped off in places like that. But actually, believe me, in Peru, they're nice people, but when it comes to buying things, and if you have an accent when you're speaking Spanish, or if you're only speaking English, they are going to try to get you for all they can get you for. So you really have to know what the locals are paying, and you might even ask. Don't be afraid to ask people. How much does this cost? How much does this normally cost? You know, hopefully you learn a little bit of Spanish. Some people know English there, not too many. And ask them, how much should this cost? The locals, if they're not a business person, they're going to tell you the truth because they have no vested interest in ripping you off. But the person who's the taxi driver or whoever's selling, they're going to try to rip you off. So don't be afraid to ask a local person. If I take a taxi from here to there, how much should it cost me at the most? And so if they tell you, oh, it should only cost you 3 soles, well, then you get in the taxi and you don't let the guy charge you 10 soles. Even when you calculate 10 soles, you'll say, oh, that's $3.50. Ah, what's the big deal? That's not so bad. In the US, $3.50 for a taxi ride anywhere would be pretty good. But not in Peru. You should pay what the locals pay. You want your money to, the reason you're there is you want your money to go as far as it will go, right? So try to find out, ask the locals, find out what the prices are, find out what that major unit of currency is. There it's a sol. Here in Colombia, it's 1,000 pesos. A bill for 1,000 pesos is only worth 50 cents. But to a Colombian, it's similar to a dollar for them. So when you're buying things, you want to know things from that point of view. And in every country, they have a major unit, like they have something similar to the dollar. In Europe, it's the euro. But a euro is actually worth more than a dollar, not less. It's worth $1.29 or $1.35. And so you want to find out what that is and know that that's how much it costs. Now, if you went to Europe, everything would seem a little more expensive. But for them, that's the normal price. So try to find out what that is and look at it from that point of view instead of calculating everything in dollars.